So just to put what I'm about to say in context, Britain, according to Chomsky's book Year 501, published in 1993, Year 501, The Conquest Continues. And Britain... Oh, hang on, that's not what we want. What I'm looking for here is where Chomsky is describing... Yeah, here it is, look. Oh, so it's Adam Smith. So, according to Adam Smith, European success in going around plundering the world was a tribute to its mastery of the means and immersion in the culture of violence. Warfare in India was still a sport. John Key observes that, and then he goes on. In Europe, it had become a science. From a European perspective, the global conquests were small wars, and so anyway, right, interesting shit for violent people. But point is, or their descendants, but it gets a bit boring for the rest of us. However, the point is that the West sort of puts out this story to its children, saying, we were the great civilizing force and we had the power of good and God on our side, and therefore we conquered all these people and made them live better. Whereas in reality, you had places like India which were fantastically wealthy and luxurious and lovely. And you didn't make them live better. You went and blew the shit out of it, took their stuff and fucked them over and turned them into swamps. But what was the case, what the reality, Chomsky's saying, is that British and other European people and governments and armies were essentially professional war makers, and they went around the world just using it as a business, just basically taking everything from everyone. But this is where it gets interesting, because before Corbyn, in the rise up to Corbyn, I was teaching this stuff to people, trying to tell people, look, this is the reality. This is an evil and nasty society in the things it's done, which pretends otherwise. So you've got to start there. So this is Year 501. You can find it online, like I just did. Year 501, The Conquest Continues, PDF. As long as you tell it to give you a PDF, it'll probably lead you to this very document. And now listen to this. Now, what I'm going to say as a result, what Larry and Pepe are talking about, brings us to something important, which is that after half a millennium of this shit, the Western Empire has essentially it's jumped the shark. It has lost the plot. You look at Babylon, look at Hitler's Germany. Decadence destroys power. And what's happened is that this professional and sharp and wondrous war machine, as it was when it was first made, is really just run by dysfunctional idiots more and more. They are not doing what those ancestors were doing. They are not military. You see, their ancestors didn't put any effort into anything like living properly, living good lives, like the rest of our ancestors in many cases did. But their ancestors put all their effort into violence and war, and they became very good at it, and they went around the world taking a lot of shit. And with the wealth and the decadence, their descendants, slowly but surely, generation by generation, became more and more people who don't know how to really go and to just steal shit in an incredibly professional and violent way. They just became privileged inheritors of a crime syndicate. So they perpetuated the syndicate. They ensured that it carried on, but they and their workforce became less and less good at it. And they were only really taking in the money from a captive market, essentially. But the time was going to come, and it has, where the real professional killing ability has now moved out of the hands of those people who were doing it then, in this greedy and sort of, self-seeking way. And it is really the property of the rest of the world. The totality of the world has much more potent military force against the robber baron culture. But listen to what Larry's saying, and hopefully you're bright enough for this alone to make you understand that's where we're at, that they are so decadent and stupid that what was once, long ago, this extremely powerful criminal entity is now completely dysfunctional and destroyed.
Attack them. And guess what? For fiscal year 2020, attack them. And guess what? For fiscal year 2026, Lockheed Martin has produced a grand total of 56. I'll repeat that. 56. They'll exist. If that's what they're shooting at Iran, they're going to be done in a week. Easy. If they're firing 7 a day. So the point is, the United States, with the Tomahawk is limited in supply, the JASSM missile, another joint air strike, surface strike missile, all of those are dependent upon rare earth minerals that come out of China. The supply chain's disrupted. The factories in the United States cannot produce these by the hundreds in a month. They produce them by the dozens in a month, if that. So here is the United States now attacking Iranian positions with missiles and weapon systems that are running out of supply. And there is no way for the United States to reverse that. Attack them. And guess what?
Maybe you already have more awareness of the situation, such as understanding the degree to which this not only is the supply chain in the United States totally disrupted, but the production rate of Russia and China and other nations, and indeed Iran, when last known, which is well into this war, so possibly even now, they have a phenomenal production rate. So their supplies of missiles are just getting larger and larger, and America is literally down to its last dregs of missiles, while Donald Trump is going, no, my magic skin is going to save me. You'll see. We have magic skin. We're the special KKK people.